This book was first written in 1940, and the different time period is obvious from the start. Griselda's walking home at 11:30 when she's accosted by a pair of twins. She's never seen them before, but they know her name and where she lives. They laugh at her obvious discomfort, and their laughter is so merry, it makes her want to laugh too. That is not how a New Yorker would react today if strangers grabbed her and tried to take her away.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
The handsome twins march Griselda to her apartment and serve themselves drinks. They laugh that Griselda can't call the police on them because there aren't any signs of a struggle. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she could still call the police on them. In fact, she should. They demand to have the blue marble, the very blue marble. Griselda screams, drawing the attention of her neighbor, Professor Gigland. The twins leave in a rush. Griselda is a fashion designer, and business must be good because she's taking a 2-month vacation from work. I wish I could do that. She's staying in her ex-husband's apartment. Again, business must be good if Con keeps up the rent on an unused apartment, complete with daily maid service. Do you know how much that costs? Griselda has an older sister named Anne, who's a bored housewife with kids. Their younger sister, Missy, is 16, and she's been living in Europe. It turns out she's best friends with the nasty Montefiore twins. The family has dinner. Griselda tells what happened to her with the twins. Everybody brushes it off as a hilarious joke, as if it's totally normal for someone to arrange a fake kidnapping for their ex-wife of 4 years. When Griselda comes home, she finds a dead body. The twins broke into her apartment so they could search for the blue marble. They were caught by the building superintendent, so they killed him. They laugh and say it was heart failure, not murder. Missy likes that joke and says the twins are sweet, fun people, when they are clearly not. Griselda remembers a hiding spot which she and Con used to send secret messages to each other. The blue marble is in there. Griselda hides it inside a doll for her niece, which keeps it safe until the finale. The maid finds the superintendent's lucky penny under the couch. The police investigate and find the superintendent's body. Danny, one of the twins, just happens to arrive at this point, and he smooths things over by casually explaining how the victim committed suicide. Griselda seems to go out to a party every single night. At one party, Danny flirts with an actress named Nesta. Danny and Missy get into a fight over it, which ends when he hits her. So the twins are murderers and woman beaters, but Missy is too enamored by them to care. She says they're like gods. And Griselda believes Missy is no longer rational, which she isn't. The twins force Griselda to go to the bank. They murder a guard and open her safety deposit box, hoping to find a blue marble. When it's not there, they shrug it off and go back to partying. Griselda returns home greatly shaken. Con is there. He tells her the person next door is not Professor Gigland. He's an imposter. Dun dun dun. Griselda and Con talk, but I found their conversation to be far too abrupt. If I were Griselda, I would tell Con everything, and I'd demand an explanation as to why this blue marble is so important. Instead, Griselda is content to let Con give her a lecture on what he's been up to lately. It turns out he's a secret agent who's trying to catch the Montefiore twins for years. He works for the new X Division in Washington, and the book calls them the X-Men a few times, which was unintentionally hilarious. It reminds me of the comic book superheroes. The police reappear and do a thorough search when they discover the death was murder. The twins decide to leave town for a while until the murder investigations cool off. David laughs when Griselda tells him murders aren't ignored that easily. I hate to say it, but he's right. In this book, it seems murder investigations end after 2 days. Griselda gets tied up with 4 murder investigations in 1 week, and nobody accuses her of anything. This is really crazy. Gig researches the blue marble. According to legend, it contains a map to the greatest riches of the world, including the ability to control gravity and the sun. There's a long history of bloodshed behind the marble, and not just in the past week. Nesta, the actress, leaves with the twins. Griselda goes to fetch her, and she finds Missy killed Nesta in a particularly gruesome fashion. Con arrives to help the police sort out the murder. He's forced to pretend he and Griselda are still married. He kisses her, and she's surprised at how attracted she is to him. Hey! We finally got some romance in the romance novel! Griselda goes back home. The twins force their way into her apartment by breaking the chain on the door. I think this is supposed to be the cover scene of the Harlequin edition, although I should note that in the book, Griselda is fully dressed and having a conversation with her sister Anne at the time. The twins invite Anne to go to the country with them while her husband's out of town. Griselda does a downright terrible job of trying to convince Anne not to go. You'd think she would put more effort into keeping her sister away from deranged serial killers, but no, she protests for 2 sentences, then gives up. Even when Anne's husband enters the room, Griselda could easily end everything by telling him about Anne's semi-adulterous plans, but she doesn't. Griselda finds another corpse in the apartment, and the twins kidnap her. She's forced to pretend things are okay to avoid worrying Anne. The tense weekend comes to a climax when the twins murder Missy right in front of her. Griselda is defeated, she finally gives up, and agrees to hand over the blue marble. There's a dramatic showdown where Professor Gig reveals he's secretly a foreign agent named Agent Z. Luckily, Khan was prepared for this plot twist. The villains are arrested, and the marble is destroyed when it's accidentally dropped out the window. You can decide for yourself whether or not a 5-story drop would permanently destroy a marble. It doesn't matter because Khan says he swapped the real marble with a fake one a while back. He really should have told Griselda about this. The end. Post-book follow-up. Griselda writes Khan a letter titled, "In Case I Die." The letter contains profusions of love, and it gives away the location of the blue marble. She puts the letter inside her safety deposit box. The weird part is that everything I just said happens off-screen. We don't find out about the letter until Khan mentions reading it at the end of the book. The letter's there when the twins check the safety deposit box, but since readers don't know its contents, the drama of the moment is lost. Everyone in this book smokes regularly, drinks a ton of alcohol, and hates waking up before 10 a.m. I don't know if that's a sign of the times or if it's supposed to signal these characters are incredibly rich. This is considered a noir novel. You could also consider it a suspense novel, as the final third is scary material where Griselda is in constant fear for her life. I doubt anyone would consider it a romance novel. The romance between Griselda and Khan doesn't show up much, and quite frankly, I didn't like it. Khan is rude to Griselda the whole time, he bosses her around constantly, and toys with her life. There is one chapter where they go on a dinner date, and I like that. Griselda feels that it's like being married again, but better. But besides for that chapter, the romance is a flop. In the sequel, the two of them get remarried. He appears to cheat on her during their honeymoon, then a bunch of dead bodies start piling up. Overall, the book's okay. It's a real page-turner, and multiple times I was shocked at what happened. The story was kept fresh and interesting by killing a new person every 40 to 50 pages. That was great! But the book seems one revision away from being truly complete, and the way the characters act is extremely dated, which was a bit of a deal-breaker for me. I like the story. If someone modernized it, it would be great. I give Harlequin Romance number 44, The So Blue Marble, a 5 out of 10.